Madam Speaker, I would like just to provide some background on the ministerial statement that I'm going to make. I had received a communication on the ban on beach timber, which basically had indicated a few issues attaining to the difficulties after Tropical Cyclone Winston. The ban is a pure consequence of COP23. Addressing ban and rectifying it could mean the difference between winning and losing the... This is what was addressed to the opposition. Difference between winning and losing elections. While countries such as China, India or USA leading COP23. I plead to your party to address and rectify this industry because it will mean winning the election in 2018. Madam Speaker, the background to the ban on UBA is a long outstanding issue. In fact, the Ngoli Dokomata of Maduata had asked us 2 months ago that there was illegal extraction of BDM in their coastal areas. In fact, it reached a situation that they asked that the people from Maduata, including the island of Kia, not to be included in surveillance activities that is being carried out because they believe that there has been information traded between the harvesters of BDM and the agencies that were assisting us in harvesting. Let me make some comments, Madam Speaker, on the background to the initial ban. The ban started off with a ban on underwater breathing apparatus, which basically means that we thought that this will save the stock that were under 30 meters of water, which was only accessible to using the diving tanks. This ban was not respected. And all local people continue to lose their lives from accidents in Viti Levu, Vanua Levu, and in the south. To totally stop the extraction of BDM was done because the only way it could revive the stock. Fisheries had to stop the export. The ban was deferred twice for 6 months to allow Cyclone Winston affected areas to continue to extract. So it gives them another 6 months to enjoy the income that is being generated by BDM. Madam Speaker, the history to the commercial harvest of beach timber is one of boom and bust. This indicates that when decision makers like ourselves fail to make hard decisions, a fishery similar to this one will basically collapse. Madam Speaker, in May last year, the initial close of beach timber fisheries was first announced. The decision and announcement was based not only on scientific information available, but also focused on operational information that was gathered over time. In terms of science, the available stock of different species of beach timber that exist within our region is alarming. Published reports indicate that our species are facing extinction due to commercial trade. In particular, Fiji is in the verge of losing 2 species that were once found in depth of less than 10 meters. These species are golden sandfish and blackfish. Madam Speaker, the irony is that beach timber are easily accessed from the comfort of our beaches. They are stationary, they do not swim away when approached, they cannot fight back if you compare them to other species of pinfish, which makes them vulnerable of being exploited. In light of this, prior to the announcement of the ban, our survey indicated that there have been an increase in the use of scuba tanks in the harvest of beach timber. While we work to try and combat the illegal use of scuba equipment, or UBA, the spike in its use indicated there were not enough species available in depth of less than 30 meters. This, Madam Speaker, is an indication of how our collective resource of beach timber is being overexploited due to commercial demands. Additionally, Madam Speaker, we have constantly heard that the beach timber industry rakes in millions of dollars every year in revenue. While this indicates a formidable figure, the question we are to ask ourselves is, do we continue to harvest this resource to extinction? Or will we implement the precautionary approach principle of choosing the importance of sustainability over short-term profits? Madam Speaker, the time is now. It is time for every few exporters that have benefited from the trade of beach timber to give it back. They need to invest on sustainable fisheries. I have made numerous announcements on aquaculture and sustainable alternatives that is available for investors to venture into. The harvest of wild-caught beach timber is not one of them. Madam Speaker, before I conclude, I would like to reiterate that the decision made on the ban was not a result of Fiji's commitment during the UN Ocean Conference in June or COP23 in November of last year. Madam Speaker, we have received numerous reports from the Maritime Islands and the 3 provinces in Vanua on the return of beach timber in our coastal areas. This is only after 1 year. We are working with fishermen, for example, Wate Soko, the biggest operator in Laos, to carry out farming of sandfish in Lakemba. His dad just visited me on Tuesday to thank me for the ban and the alternatives that fishery is providing. We have received positive reports of stock from Lombebiti, Kandavu, the Konrove, Mbua and Maduata. The issue there is that they are asking when they can start harvesting again. Fisheries need to check the stock level before a decision is made. Madam Speaker, the decision is based on the fact. The current stock is facing depletion, and with continuous harvest, the fishery will collapse. Madam Speaker, with the current ban, we will not be able to sustain current stock to a level that will provide for our future generation. Let us not make the mistake of allowing short-term economic benefits to cloud the important decisions of ensuring sustainability. We would not want ourselves to be tagged as the generation that ate it all. Thank you, Madam Speaker.